What's up, fellas? UFC Noche. We're going to be looking at Diego Lopes versus Silva. We're going to be predicting these fights. So yeah, let's just jump straight into it. Rodrigo Sangiando versus Daniel Nico. But where do they find these guys with these names, man? It's difficult. Full disclaimer, I have not watched any of The Ultimate Fighter, so I have no idea who these guys are. I am going to pick Daniel Dos Chesco though. I did look at these two's records, and I think Daniel's got a better record. He is 12-2. He is a little bit bigger. I don't know why his reach isn't there, but I believe his reach is more as well. He is he's fought better at better comp. Like when I look at his record, I just think it looks better. I don't know, I'm gonna be honest. That's kind of what I'm going off of here. Also, he's Ukrainian. You know, those boys have been through a lot recently. I bet he's gonna be fighting with some rage. He's got to prove a point. So I'm gonna go with Daniel Dos Chenkno. Alright, moving on. Montserrat Ridon versus Alice Pereira. I don't think she's Alex Perez's sister, but you know. I'm gonna go with Alice Perez. I wasn't impressed with Montserrat Ridon's win, and I just believe in Alice Pereira. That's pretty much what I'm going off here. I haven't watched any of her fights. I just don't think Montserrat Ridon is that good, and that's how I'll be picking this. So let's see. Moving on. Alexander Costa versus Aldin Corina. I am 100% going with Alexander Costa. First off, I think he's an exceptionally good fighter. In recent memory, he's only lost to Diego Lopes, and that is not a bad person to lose against at all. Everyone else he's beat up like he was supposed to. I believe he destroyed Kevin Borjalio's legs, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, he's beat everyone he's supposed to beat, and he's been winning consistently, and he looks good. And I think he's strong for flyweight too. Another thing is Aldin's taking this on short notice, and I just don't like that. You can't make your debut against Alexandria Costa on short notice. I think that's a very tough thing to ask. And Alexandria Costa's experience, he's fought really good guys, and I think that's just forced his comp up. His skill set up, sorry. So I'm going to take Alexander Costa. Also, he's built like a little tank. I just think yeah. Moving on. Zachary Reese versus Cedric Dumas. I'm going to take Zachary Reese over Cedric Dumas. I like Zachary Reese. 6'4" middleweight's pretty cool. Only 70-inch reach though, which is not great. I think he showed more skill than Cedric Dumas. He knocks out Jacob Malkoum. Yeah, so it's Jacob Malkoum. He knocks him out like he's supposed to. He loses to people, though, if I'm not mistaken. Who has he lost to again? I can't quite remember. Oh, yes, okay. He beats Daniel Melita, which is what we would want. He loses to Bekov. Oh, well. He wins against Justin Chutrovic. And he knocks out Marquez, and he loses to Brundage. I want to say though, with the Brundage thing, I think it was a little bit lucky, because Brundage was deep in that armbar, and if that slam didn't work and knock him out, he would have been out of there. You know what I mean? I don't like Brundage. I hate that he's actually winning, but you know, what can you do? And Cedric Dumas on the other hand, he's 3-3, and he's just not as good. Losing to Just Frem, not a good look. He beat Cody Brundage, but I don't know what happened to Cody Brundage in that fight. Like, I don't think he's that great, but Cody Brundage just accepted bottom and just sat there. So, and Cedric Dumas, you know, he cheated. He beat up. So he didn't cheat. So he beat up that. Who is that guy who was smuggling the potatoes in? That got knocked out by Matt Favola, and then he got knocked out by I just looked now. But he got knocked out by Michael Johnson then afterwards. I always have these little memory lapses here. Okay, yeah. So he lost to Ruza, which is what I would expect. Oh yeah, Azata. He lost to Azata. He won against Azata, Brundage, and he won against Justin Trukoli. Not great wins, man. And look, he's lost to. He's lost to Olechaychek, Nussultan Ruza, and he's lost to Josh Friend. Friend, it's not that good, but to lose to Frem is not great either. And losing to Mistral and Ruzaboev, who I think are like a bit above, like they're pretty decent middleweights, to be honest. I think that doesn't show good for Cedric Dumas's skill set. Also, he's been spending a lot of time in jail recently, and I just don't think that's good. Like, I don't know how prepared you can be then if you're just in jail all the time. So I'm going to pick Zachary Reese. I think his head's a bit more in the game. He's beat the people he's supposed to beat in spectacular fashion, like he's knocking them out. Sure, he's been knocked out himself, but those were against upper level. I just think he'll be able to win against Cedric Dumas. Moving on. Jesus Aguilar versus Lucas Gulu. Guys, I'm so sorry with these names, right? It's like a thing, I can't read names properly. Alrighty. Lucas Gula. I'm going to pick him to win. What are the odds on this one, just out of curiosity? Okay, cool. Everyone seems to be agreeing with me. I think Jesus is not that bad, but I think Lucas is a bit better. I mean, he has that nice KO over that Australian guy who got KO'd by everyone. So, I mean, it looks good, but... And then he got that guillotine against that other young up-and-comer New Zealander, Kiwi. And he looks good, but I just don't think he has a lot there. I don't think you're really going to get knocked out for him. I was watching Lewis's fight against O'Day Osborne, and look, he's not the fastest guy in the world, but he's going to be bigger, and he managed to take O'Day Osborne down, which I think... I know O'Day Osborne gets taken down by people, but I think it's good how long he controlled him and held him on the floor. I don't know why he kept going for that weird submission that would never work, but, you know, he kept top position for a while. It's just he throws things a bit slow. But I don't think Jesus is like that quick himself either. So I think Lucas, he's going to be bigger, he's going to push forward, and he has a bit more reach, and he's a bit taller. I think he's just going to find this matchup much nicer for him. And I think he's doing okay against O'Day. And I think, you know, Lewis, he has that grappling up his back pocket. So, yeah, I'm going to take Lewis to win this one. Moving on. Tatiana Suarez versus Amanda Lemos. I'm going to go with Tatiana Suarez. I think she's fairly good, and I think Amanda Lemos is over the hill, unfortunately. Now, could Amanda Lemos catch Tatiana Suarez in some random submission? Sure. Zhang Wei Li couldn't catch Tatiana Suarez in any submission, and I think that says enough on its own. I think Tatiana, she'll be a bit bigger too than Amanda Lemos. I always thought Amanda Lemos looked a little frail for the division. I think Tatiana, she's going to come in nice, strong, take her down and control her. She's just going to do what Zhang Wei Li did to Amanda Lemos, and that's going to be it. And I think she's a bit of a better striker too, to be honest. And Amanda Lemos is getting up there in age. She's 38 years old now. Tatiana's only like 34, 33. She's much more in her prime. I think she's having a bit of a career fall off, like Jessica Andrade. I think Tatiana Suarez has got this. She's got a bit more left in the tank. Moving on. And she's got that wrestling to fall back on, so, you know. Moving on. Claudio Perales versus Joaquin Silva. This one, I think, is actually quite tricky. I don't know. I was really thinking about this one a lot. Joaquin Silva did drop Arman Tsarukyan. Like, isn't that when he was on short notice? Isn't that crazy to think? And Claudio Perales did almost rip Dan Hooker's leg apart. And Claudio Perales lost a split decision to Faresi Zam, who I think is actually really, really good. So, you know, Joaquin Silva won a close fight with Clay Guido. I'm going to... Look, I don't want to do this, but I'm going to have to pick Claudio Perales. He's taken time off, and he's much younger. And I kind of like that. He's 27. So he's taken the time off. I hope he comes back with a good... Maybe I hope he's worked on his striking and his takedowns so he doesn't pull guard. I know it's a bad look when Dan Hooker is just kicking you and you can't get off the floor, and it just looks really... and you butt scoot your way towards him like that. I know that looks really bad. But he has good leg locks, which I don't like picking guys whose whole game rolls around leg locks, especially in MMA, but he's younger, he'll be bigger than Joaquin, and Silva's old, and he's just never really shown like a particular talent. Like I think Claudio, he has a lot of talent. I think he can do well here. He's fought better competition and fared better, I think, than Joaquin Silva did. So I'm gonna go Claudio Perales. I reckon he's just gonna out-grapple Silva, and hey, maybe I reckon he's taken like a good year off. His striking's probably gonna do better. And I want to point out too, he took like a year off after the Dan Hooker fight, and he did win for a split decision with Faresi Ziam, which is a really good look. I think he took another year off. He's gonna come back even better. He was young when he fought Dan Hooker, and he was still young when he fought Faresi Ziam, and he's still young now. I think he's gonna have a lot of improvement. I'm going to pick Claudio Perales to win this fight. Moving on. Co-main. No, not co-main. Just another fight on the prelims, guys. Jose Daniel Medina versus Dusto Tratovic. I'm going with Dustin Travovic. What does the odds say? Yes, they agree with me. Okay. Why am I picking Justin Travovic? Because Jose Daniel is still fat at middleweight. He should be a welterweight. Isn't that crazy? He used to be a light heavyweight. He's one of the few. I've watched like 2 Contender Series fights, and he's one of the Contender Series fights I lost. I don't understand how he got into the UFC. He lost his Contender Series fight really badly, and then he just got let into the UFC. And he's done horribly against everyone. He lost to Zachary Reese. He lost to someone else, and then he got destroyed by that one middleweight prospect. What is his name? I can't put... You know who I'm talking about. Like the mini Francis Ngannou, which is crazy to say because that guy's huge, but you know what I mean. He lost to him. He got knocked out. Dusto Travovic has had some success in the UFC. Like a little bit of success. You know what I mean? Like he hasn't won in a while, but he did beat Jordan Rod. He did beat whoever this is. Like he beat someone. Like he beat some people. Like I think that counts as something. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Dustin Travovic. He will be bigger than Jose Daniel. So that's how I'm basing this prediction. He's had some success in the UFC, and I don't think Jose Daniel's gonna be able to take Dusto down, which I think is his main problem. And he's just a good boxer, so I think if he doesn't have to worry about that takedown, he's gonna do okay. Moving on. Now this is a sick fight. Alexander Hernandez versus Diego Ferreira. Kind of want to go with Diego Ferreira, man. I think Diego Ferreira is really good. People seem to disagree with me there. So underdog pick, I'm going to take Diego Ferreira. He beat the crap out of Mateus Rebecki. And who did he lose to? He lost to someone good. Was it Grant Dawson? Yes. Okay. He lost to Grant Dawson, which, you know, I mean, there's no shame in that. I think if you replay that Grant Dawson versus Bobby Green fight, like 9 times out of 10, Grant Dawson will win it. I think it's crazy Bobby pulled that win off. So good for him. I think Diego Ferreira is going to do it. He beat Mateus Rebecki up. He consistently beats people. He was losing to Michael Johnson, and then he just knocks him out. And I know it's Michael Johnson who's 39 years old, but Michael Johnson's just on a 3-fight win streak right now with 2 knockouts, which is crazy to think, right? I think he's just a better fighter, and I think Alexander Hernandez. Was this a booked fight, or was this short notice? Because this will depend on how I pick things as well. I didn't think it was. Okay, no, okay, cool. It was the other one. Diego Lopes, Alexander Hernandez fought like very recently, and I know he didn't take any damage in that fight with Chase Hooper. But I don't like him cutting weight again and getting back, doing all the weight cuts and getting back into shape. Diego Ferreira, I know he's fight with Bobby Green got called off, but I think he's had more time to rest. He never really made weight, if you know, like he never drained himself. So I think he'll be in a better shape and recovery, and I just think he's going to be better. Like Alexander Hernandez is good, but I just think Diego Ferreira is like one of the most dangerous guys you can take on at the moment. I know Hernandez is younger, but Ferreira has never looked so good. So I'm going to take Diego Ferreira here. I don't think Hernandez is going to be able to take Diego Ferreira down, and I think Ferreira will do fine on the feet, and I think he'll be able to keep Hernandez at bay and win by boxing pretty much. And, yeah, Diego Ferreira is pretty defensively responsible, and he does well under pressure, which is what Hernandez likes to do. So I'm going to take Diego Ferreira to win this one. Ooh, moving on to the main card. Santiago Luna versus Quang Lee. Who the fuck knows? You know what I mean? Who knows with this one? I'm just going to take Santiago Luna. I don't think Quang Lee's that great. That's what I'm going to base it off. I think he's another road to UFC guy. Is he a road to UFC guy before I just say... Did I just make things up? Did I make it up? Oh no, he's a contender guy. LFA. Yeah, man, I just don't think so, I'm going to be honest. I just don't think he's that good. I'm going to go Santiago Luna. I don't know anything about Santiago Luna, but too many decent guys have beaten him. Quang Lee. Like, who did he lose to? He lost to... Chris Gutierrez and Long. Like, I don't know, man. Long, he's alright. Oh, he had a very close fight with you. I thought he won. Jesus, I don't know. I just don't think he's gonna do too well. I'm just gonna go Santiago Luna, to be honest. That's what I'm gonna take. Yeah, it's hard fight to pick. Moving on. Calvin Gastelum versus Dustin Soltis. Fuck, look at Calvin, man. Just built like a refrigerator. Do I want to pick Dustin Soltis as an underdog? No, I'm going to go Calvin Gastelum. I don't think Dustin Soltis is going to be able to take Calvin Gastelum down. And if Joe Parker can't knock this guy out after knocking him down 3 times, I don't think Dustin Soltis is going to be able to either. Calvin, I know he's not even that old. He's only 33 years old. He's lost to a lot of people, but he's like, I think he'll do fine. And I think also I want to point this out, Dustin Soltis was kind of struggling against Bruno Ferreira, who is also a shorter middleweight. So I think Calvin might be okay in that regard. I don't think Dustin Soltis has beat anyone good, whereas Calvin Gastelum has beat pretty good guys. And I know in hindsight, at the time it didn't look that good, but in hindsight he did quite well against Sean Brady. And I know that was in another weight class, but doing anything good against Sean Brady is actually quite impressive these days. Like, Sean Brady looks very dominant, but Calvin was doing okay until he gets taken down. But I don't think Dustin Soltis is going to be able to take him down. Calvin's going to be able to take pressure off. Also, Calvin won the 3rd round against Joe Parker, man. And I think Joe Parker is a much harder guy to beat. I think Joe Parker would knock out Dustin Soltis. So I'm going to go Calvin Gastelum. It's probably going to be a decision win, but he kind of needs this to win. So yeah, I'm going to go Calvin Gastelum on this one. Moving on. Rafael Garcia versus Jared Gordon. I'm going to go Jared Gordon, man. Jared Gordon's really good. He's really good. He knocked out Thiago Moises. And then he knocked out Mark Madsen. He was going to win against Bobby Green until he got headbutted. He lost to Paddy Pimblett, but I thought he won. Like, I really did think Jared Gordon won. I don't know what Rafael Garcia's done. Like, he's beat guys, but he doesn't beat them. Like, he doesn't distinguish himself from the pack. Like, if I have a look here. See, Garcia vs Pichel fight, I didn't like that. He should have knocked Pichel out. If he wanted to prove to me that he was like a top level contender, he should have knocked Pichel out. He lost against Dawson, no shame in that. I think Dawson's quite good. He wins against Guida, a 3-round decision. He wins against Mache, a decision. He loses to Draco Klaus, makes sense. He wins against Rodson, a submission. I don't like that. And then if you look at Jared Gordon's record over here, he's shown that he's like a level above these other middle lightweights. He's knocked out Thiago Moses. He had a very hard fought split decision with Hassarak Hassapat, which, again, he could have won it, but it's fine. He killed Mark Madsen and sent him to retirement. He was winning against Bobby before he got knocked down. He should have won against Paddy. He beat Gordon. He beat Santos. He lost to Jared Gordon. But, he's put himself he's shown great levels of improvement since these fights. Doing well against Paddy he did really well he did better against Paddy than fucking Michael Chandler did. Like, think about that for a second. And he's beat these guys that he should have beat. And he had a hard-fought decision with Hassarak. I'm going to go Jared Gordon. He's got fantastic boxing, slick punches, and I think he's takedown defense. Well, I don't know if he's takedown defense. Well, I just think he's going to knock it out. He's just a bit... He's going to be a bit bigger too. I think Jared Gordon is going to get and he's distinguished himself from other lightweights. He's ahead of the pack. Moving on. Co-main event. I'm going to pick David Martins. Why would I pick David Martins? Because Rob Font was preparing for Paul Rosso Jr. before he pulled out. And David Martinez is a striker, and I think Rob Font's been doing all this wrestling, so his boxing probably isn't as crisp as it should be. I think David Martinez is going to be able to come in here and cause an upset. Like, I really think he will. That's what I'm going to base it on. He also has beaten Oliver by KO, which is what I like. Oliveira. And Rob Font is getting really old, man, and I just don't think he's got it. He hasn't been looking as good recently. I think David Martinez, he's going to come in here on the upset. He took this fight. I reckon he was in shape this whole time, waiting for a fight. Like, he probably was getting ready for a fight anyway. I don't know. Rob Font is really good, though. I'm still going to pick David Martinez because taking these fights on short notice, I just don't think it's good for them. Also, he's missing weight now. Like, I don't like it. I think David Martinez is going to come in here and win. Anyway, moving on. Diego Lopes vs Gene Silva. This is very tricky in my opinion. Very, very tricky. Both are really good. Really good. And I don't want to just say, Rufy and Caio lost, so it's Gene's turn next. Because that's stupid. But it is kind of I get the meme behind it. It's quite funny. I have to go with Diego Lopes. Why am I going with Diego Lopes? I'll tell you why. Oh shit, he's a favourite. I thought Gene would be the fucking favourite. For sure. I'm going with Lopes for several reasons. Number one, he can catch and put you out in the first round. And he's very good at that. Gene Silva can do that, but Gene Silva does a lot of mucking around, trying to lull you into a false sense of security. I don't think Diego Lopes is going to fall for that. He is tough. He is, as tough as they come. He is very good. I think he'll be able to come in there quickly if he's grabs the tie clench, uppercut, right hook, you know what I mean? And like he did against Sadiq Youssef. Diego Lopes, I think, does well against shorter guys. Like, he did fairly good against Volk. And that's another thing, man. Gene Silva's beat fucking Bryce Mitchell, then some other guy, and then Drew Dober, and Charles Jourdain, and he knocks these guys out. But it's are we that impressed? You knocked out Weston Wilson. Congratulations. You know what I mean? I just think Diego Lopes, he's fought way better competition. His debut fight on short 10 days notice was against Mozla Evlerov, where he won one of the rounds and almost submitted the guy like twice. That's really impressive, man. I found that really impressive. He knocked out Brian Ortega and then hit him again and woke him back up. So then it wasn't like an official knockout. That's really good. That's really good. I mean, Yoria knocked him down and then couldn't finish it, and then Ortega won. But Diego Lopes, he made sure he won. And Diego Lopes did... Okay, he's a bit over the hill now, but you get my point. Like, Diego Lopes made it look really easy. And he did good against Dan Ige, even though they had that whole mess around where Dan Ige stepped in on like 6 hours notice. Diego Lopes had to weigh in like 3 different times. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he did really well considering all those circumstances. And before that, he was knocking everyone out. Everyone out. And I don't think Gene Silva's faced that higher level of competition yet, man. Also, Diego Lopes is just bigger. He's a really big featherweight. 5'11", 72 inches. Gene's 5'7", 69 inches. Like, Diego Lopes is going to be able to catch him first. And I know Gene's fast, but so is Silva. Diego, man. And I just think there's levels to this. Do you know how much training he probably, like, the level of comp he had to, like, how good he had to get to fight Volk and still do really quite well against Volk. Like, all those rounds, Volk won them. Ooh, not all of them. He won a lot of the rounds, but even the ones he lost, it was fairly competitive. Like, you weren't thinking like, oh, Volk's about to finish this guy. I just think, yeah, I don't know. I think Diego Lopes can do it. I think he can beat Gene Silva. And you know what? I'm going to put this out there too. Gene Silva seeing his boys lose recently, I don't think that's going to be good for team morale. I really just don't think it is going to be. And I'm wondering if that's going to affect him. Like, he's like, oh, we're not invincible anymore. You know what I mean? Like they kind of get that myth around. They had, for a while, they had that like, oh my god, you don't want to be fighting a fighting nerd. Like, they're going to kill you. And it's like, oh, now they look beatable. They're very beatable. And we keep seeing this too. All these prospects. Bernard St. Denis. We had... Who's some other prospects? I can only name Bernard St. Denis. We have all these prospects who are going up against these established rank guys. Like, they jump up in the competition. And they just lose. And we lose all these prospects because of that. Like... Rufy against St. Denis. Like, Rufy fought 3 times in the UFC and now he's getting like a St. Denis. Like, that was crazy in hindsight. Who else? Oh, we had that guy Sean Strickland fought. Ikram. No. What was his name? Abus Magomedov. He fought Sean Strickland on his second fight and lost. And now he's doing quite well. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the context of that. And we also had Ikram Alaliskov. He took that fight with Robert Whittaker on short notice. I know that's short notice, but he got knocked out in the first round. And Robert Whittaker don't really knock people out. I just think it's kind of the same thing here, man. Gene Silva taking this up on short notice. I'm not sure. It's just a big jump up in competition. Like, if you put Gene against, like, who's a good featherweight? Ooh. Who's a good featherweight? Okay. If you put him against like a Josh Emmett or Yusuf Zalal or even Arnold Allen or like I would have been like, okay, we're building him up. He's only just in the rankings, Gene Silva. Like, if you put him against something like that, I would have been fine. But he putting him against the Moslov Evlorov. Diego Lopes. That's pretty high level, man. That's pretty high level. Also, they should have made Diego Lopes versus Yuri Rodriguez. I don't know why they didn't do that. That's silly. But anyway. Yeah, I think Diego Lopes is going to win. I think he's been proven. He's tested that we know where he is. I don't really know where Gene Silva is yet, man. And I know he's good, but I'm worried this might be a bit too early for him. This might be a bit too early. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. That's the end of the video. Yeah. I'll see you next time.